watching this video, you need to stop poisoning yourself and wake the up. How, you may ask? Well, give me and my friends, Luke Belmaar and Collin Yurcisin, about 40 minutes of your time today. Because that's less time than you are going to spend watching Netflix anyway. This video isn't flashy, it's not fancy, but it is a real, raw account from 3 people who changed their lives on the internet and documented the whole process. I hope you use it. Enjoy. Luke Belmaar, champ, Collin Yurcisin, exactly how to fix your life in 45 minutes. Now, this morning, as we were sitting on the dock, watching the sunrise, we had a conversation, right, about just how simple it actually is to live a good, a productive, a wealthy, even life, right? You look at the 99%, you see what they do, you do the opposite. They lie, you tell the truth. They don't work out, you go to the gym. They eat seed oils, you eat healthy and organic. So I want to ask both of you guys to kick this off, what exactly you're doing on a daily basis. Luke, I'll start with you. What is the Luke Belmaar morning routine? How do you start every day?
I think your morning routine starts the night before. It starts with how you position your morning. And most people arrive to the morning thinking, oh, well, I woke up, tired or lethargic or have brain fog. That's not normal. For you to wake up, first you have to kind of observe the scenario that you're in before you try to apply any remedy. So you begin to evaluate all these symptoms. I wake up, I sleep 8, 10, 12 hours and I wake up tired. So you begin to evaluate, what is my sleep cycle? Okay, well, what affects it? The things that I did the day before. So I start with, what do I do before I go to sleep? How do I prepare myself for what we call the night cycle, the moon cycle? And what we do is we have a period where we stop eating. I tell people 7 to 8 p.m., no more carbs. Why? Because they're hard to digest. They are not the lightest food. You can probably corroborate with that. And at the end of the day, it's been proven that intermittent fasting allows you to sleep better. And at the end of the day, you don't want your body to be focused on digesting food. You want your body to be focused on recuperating, regenerating itself, and recovering, which is the purpose of sleep. And if you're not waking up feeling rejuvenated and refreshed, something is the problem. So that's the first thing that I do. I position myself extremely well. I tend to like to have a fixed sleep schedule. I know Collin likes to have a fixed sleep schedule as well. So in my opinion, I position myself with 11 to 11:30, I'm in bed. No phone, no distractions. I empty my mind. Nothing matters, because when I go to bed, things aren't going to change. I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is I go for a walk. 20 minutes every single day to set the intentions of the day. I don't get up, check my email. Nothing is of importance to me beyond me fixing myself, improving myself, and understanding, what do I want to accomplish today? Unless you have some sort of objective goal or reason for your day, you're going to kind of stumble around like an accident. Look how many days we just sit in bed scrolling. Oh, it's 11, it's 12, it's 1, we order DoorDash, it's 3 p.m., it's 5, and by the time you get out of bed, you start doing something, it's already dusk. The day is basically gone. And that is a situation that most of us find ourselves in. Why? Because we don't live a day of setting goals and intentions. So what I like to do, go for my 20-minute walk, set my intentions for the day. Today, I'm gonna eat healthy. Today, I'm gonna ground. Today, I'm gonna exercise. Today, I'm gonna make X amount of connections, relationships, whatever the goal is for the day, whatever I feel like I want it to be. And the best part is it's dynamic, right? It's not the same fixed thing every single day. I train in the morning, and by 9 in the morning, I have my first meetings with my team. So very light, very mild, and very simple.
Got it. And that's interesting to hear you say that it's dynamic, right? Because we look at somebody like Collin, on the other hand, who's waking up every single day, supplements, 5 a.m., diligent morning routine. So how do you manage that, right? Especially managing a business that's doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. How are you staying focused, and what are the actions that you're doing every single day?
Yeah, so I've been doing the same one for about 5 years now. So right when I quit my job, I established a morning routine. It's non-negotiables that I do no matter where I'm at, no matter what time I wake up. These 5 or so things always get done no matter what. So those things are basically, right when I wake up, I prime myself. I gotta get in a high frequency state. So what do? I play high frequency music. So you can go on Spotify. There's like Sunrise Yoga is a great playlist. And then they have the high frequency music playlist as well. It's just literally all high frequency sounds. You play that, and I go right into my red light room. So I have a red light panel. Red light is amazing for skin regeneration, for just energy all around. So I put that thing on, and I'll do my journal. So in my journal, I go right to gratitude. So when you start your day in gratitude, you can manifest more things into your life that you desire. So I write down 10 things I'm grateful for. I write the 5 action items that I want to get done for that day, things that only I can control. Because so many people want to get paid $10,000 for the day, but can you control Sally paying you that $10,000? No, you can control how many times you outreach Sally or that person, and how many, things that actually make that person send you the money. So I'll do the things that I can control, which is usually create content, right? That's my number one money making activity. So that's probably number one on the list most days. And then I'll write the 4 Agreements, which is an amazing book. If you guys haven't read it already, go check that out. And then I write a love letter to God. It used to be to money, but now I realize that, purpose over money every single day, because money's just a byproduct of how many people you help. So that's my journal side of things. That takes me about 10-15 minutes, super easy. It can always get done. I close that, and then I sit up and I do my breath work. So Wim Hof breath work, you guys can get the app. I think it's like $5-10 or something. You can get it every single year. Do it every single day. It tracks your breath work, tracks how long each round is. And there's another one called Awaken breath work that's really good as well. So I do my breath work, takes about 10 minutes, go right into meditation after the breath work, because I prime myself. The energy that's flowing into my body is crazy. From the moment you wake up, you'll never wake up with a smile. You can't be happy immediately upon waking up because you don't have enough oxygen in your body yet. But you can be sad waking up. You ever wake up pissed off? All the time, right? So when you wake up pissed or any kind of mood that's not satisfactory, you go and do that breath work, you prime yourself, and now you're able to operate from a state of abundance, from a state of attraction. So I get myself in that state. I then go on my walk just like Luke. I like to walk, or I like to work out. Right now I work out right away. So I'll drink my 4 eggs, which is my protein shake, go straight to the gym, hit a hard fucking workout, get primed again, and then by 9 o'clock when I'm home, bro, sometimes jump my cold plunge. If I have time, I'll do my sauna, and then by the time I sit down, at 9 o'clock, and I have my coffee, and I have my power bowl, my kefir, my fresh fruit, I'm fucking ready to rock, bro.
Right. So let's talk about this then, because there are all these good morning habits, but I would argue that actually the average individual is actively poisoning themselves as soon as they wake up. So my challenge to anybody watching this video would to start small tomorrow, do one thing, and stay off your phone for 30 minutes when you wake up, and watch how your life changes. But just like I know, that people are doing all types of things that they should not be doing on a daily basis. So talk to me a little bit, as somebody who's very versed in biohacking, about common mistakes that people are making that are poisoning their bodies and minds on a daily basis.
So first, what is biohacking? Bio means life. Hacking is basically your ability to find your way around something. So your ability to find your way around life, your way to find glitches in the system of life. So what do you do with these 30 minutes that you stop interacting with your phone? You need to set an intention of what you're going to do with these 30 minutes. Walk into a 7-Eleven. Go at 11 p.m. Go see the type of individuals that walk in there, what they buy, and what they do. And you're going to realize that their habits dictate their appearance, because your body is a manifestation of how you think, is a manifestation of how you operate. So go and observe those individuals. You won't find the healthiest, most successful people lingering around in those places. Why? Because those are not the habits of winning, successful people. So just like you observe in those 30 minutes individuals and habits that you don't want to personify, now do the opposite. Go the next day and spend those 30 minutes observing people that you want to resemble. People that have winning qualities, that have success attached to their persona, that seem to attract, always have that golden touch. And dissect them, observe them. What is it that they do that causes this? This is called the scientific method. The ability to observe, hypothesize, test, and ultimately arrive to a conclusion, an outcome. Most people don't have a mental framework as to how they perceive the data sets that are in front of them. They think that they need to pick up a book, but look how many people pick up books and don't learn anything. Look how many people listen to podcasts and nothing enters in their head. Why? Because they think that the action is what matters. No, what matters is the intention that's set forth to the action. So in those 30 minutes, observe. So before you begin acting, before you begin doing all these things, you need to be able to stop and position yourself. He talks about meditation. What does it mean to meditate? what does it mean? You need to be able to understand the definition of what it means to be in a state of calmness. It's what I like to call a state of equanimity, calmness of the soul, a place where you can operate at peace. I was talking with an entrepreneur earlier on, and he said, you know, I was excited. I was going to build a multi-billion-dollar software company, and I got excited. I said, you got excited, an extreme. And then I got super sad, and I made another bad decision, extreme, no balance. So you need to be able to position yourself balanced. How? By unlocking information. Science is the love of knowledge. That's what it means, the love of knowledge. So when you have this idea of philosophy, philo means brotherly love, Sophia means wisdom. Philosophy, right, used to be only used in the context of religious kind of environments. So philosophy means lover of wisdom. What is wisdom? Knowledge put into practice. So first you observe, then you ask, what is it that these people are doing? Then you test. Okay, I'm not gonna say no. Look how many people are hating on the internet. You didn't even fucking try it. No, just test it. Test it for 30 days with no bias. And then do what? Examine, cross-reference. And then you arrive to what? Your conclusion. And what is your conclusion of what? The data set that was presented to you. And then you decide whether you want to incorporate it into your life or not. So before we talk about the elements, first we need to talk about the framework and mindset as to how we receive this information. And once we have the framework, the mindset, which is often what I talk about, the worldview. Now that we have this worldview in practice, we can talk about the practicals. Collin.
Yeah, so the conclusion to the flip side of my old life was, it doesn't work. I can't go get blacked out on the weekends. I can't have shitty friends that, you know, don't have uplifting thoughts, don't have, you know, goals, don't have common, you know, desire to win in life. Like, that was, my old life was literally just people that were all kind of lost, floating around, didn't know what the fuck to do. And the end result was brutal. Like, I was, you know, getting blacked out. I had no direction. I had no purpose. So then what did I have to do? I have to create a new hypothesis. I had to do new data sets, and I established a morning routine. And you can't just do it for a week and think that your whole life's going to change. I put in 5 years down the wrong path, and I got the end result. So now I have to put in 5 years down the right path, and we're literally 5 years from where I started. Shit's pretty fucking good now. So
yeah, man, I think that you brought up habits, right? I think that people neglect a really, really simple reality, which is that you are what you do, right? So we become our habits. And we were speaking about this over lunch earlier. People get very up in arms whenever they feel judged by their physical appearance, right? But what's pretty ironic about it is that the human body is simply a canvas of your decisions, right? Whatever I chose for the last 10 years of my life is written all over my body. So the fairest way by which I can judge an individual is by looking at them and by speaking to them, right? So Collin makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a month selling fitness coaching. Why? Look, right? And something else we were speaking about earlier that I want to direct this conversation to is this concept of gravity, right? People so often when they're trying to climb the mountain in life, oh, like what's the top 10 hacks to run at my Shopify store? Oh, my YouTube video didn't do well. I didn't have the right title and thumbnail. But when you think about it in the context of gravity, as we discussed earlier, wherein we think about gravity, why does the Earth orbit around the sun? Because the sun is much larger, right? So the larger an object, the larger something's critical mass, the more it attracts other objects, right? So what we need to do is look inwards and understand that in order to attract customers or friends or wealth or whatever it is that we want in life, we just have to grow the mass, right? And grow ourselves. And that's what I really want to talk about today and give an action to of everybody that watches this is like, what are these things that we can be doing, right? Like, as you look inward, tens of millions of dollars deep, what are you doing now to try and increase that gravitational pull and mass of yourself, intellectually, spiritually, and physically?
Well, first let's talk about the results.
Right.
What has the gravitas, right? That's the Latin of gravity, gravitas, the ability to gravitate towards, the ability to pull towards. What has it pulled towards? 150,000 aspiring entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs from 70 countries waiting to get into Capital Club. So your concept is based on what? Natural law. natural law is beyond the opinions of men. It is fundamental, and it can be applied to any aspect of life if so you choose to perceive it that way. So when you talk about, okay, all these things that Luke is going to say, what do they yield? Well, it's yielded 150,000 hungry, desiring entrepreneurs that want to win, or aspiring entrepreneurs ready to join Capital Club. That's the end result. Perfect. You want an end result of do $369 times 10% of whatever that number I gave you. Just whatever that is, perfect. Let me give you the framework as to how you can achieve it. 1, your reputation must be unassailable. Your reputation must be pristine. Who you say you are, that is who you must become and who you must be. Hypocrisy does not work. You have to be authentic. Authenticity is what matters. That's number 1. The idea of being fake, first of all, doesn't work anymore. 2, it's expensive in energy. Why? Because acting, it's tiring. Number 1. Number 2 is your mindset. Understanding that unless you have a goal, you're not going to arrive anywhere. You have a goal, but then you need a habit and the patterns. We were talking about the idea of establishing these habits. Habits is this concept of habitat. So the ecosystem that you create around your action is also important. So if you don't want to have junk food, well, don't have junk food in your house. If you don't want to eat candy, well, then just don't have candy in the pantry. If you're gonna smoke weed and well, I got the munchies, well, just make sure that your kitchen is just clean of all the junk food. Why? Because you're creating the habitat so that the seed of effort, when you input it, that it yields result. The last thing you want to do is create an environment where you're fighting against yourself, dude. All these people are like, dude, I'm focused on girls, like I want to get, but every single
But they
weekend,
live in Miami.
Every single weekend they go out. They are on every single dating app. Every single time that they're supposed to be doing their work, they're out here interacting with women. And it's not the issue that you can't interact with women, it's the problem that your goal is misaligned with your actions. And if you want something, your actions need to reflect that what you want. You can't want something and then want another 1,000 other things that are the antithesis of that which you want. Because just like you have critical mass, you also have the black hole, which absorbs critical mass. So you need to observe these things, these little gaps in your life that are absorbing your potential to grow, and you need to mitigate them. So we often talk about the things that we need to do, but we often don't talk about the frameworks as to the things that we need to avoid. And many times in life, which is the beauty, it's not so much about how much you have, but oftentimes it's about getting rid of a lot of the things that you do have. I'll give you an example. Who would have most pleasure? Let's say an emperor who's enjoying the finest meat in the world, or a slave who hasn't eaten for 3 days and gets invited for a bowl of soup after, being extremely hungry. Who experiences true pleasure and joy of that experience? Who's truly wealthy in that situation? And that's the paradox in the antithesis of life. It's about the framework and the positioning of where you are. So it's not so much about what do I need to add to my life to get better? No. What do I need to get rid of? What's the baggage that's holding me back? Get rid of those things. Fast from what you put through your eyes. Fast from what you listen. Fast from what you consume. In every aspect of your life. Clean, purge from these things. And then once you detox, well, then you begin to grow. Most people, they're not healthy. Therefore, they cannot operate out of a state of health. If your brain isn't functioning well, if your gut isn't functioning well, how are you going to trust your opinions, your decision-making process? No. First, you need to heal yourself. You need to enter a state of normality, because most of you guys are sick. Most people are sick. And then you make decisions out of that place. So cut out the bullshit. Focus on the little things in your life that you're doing well, and the rest you get incorporated over time. This is the best way to not be overwhelmed, and it's very practical for all of us. Look in the mirror. Ask yourself the 5 first things that come to mind that you need to change, and start there.
And by the way, the most actionable way to do exactly what he just said is to start with a dopamine detox, right? We're talking about phones earlier, right? You quit checking Instagram and TikTok as soon as you wake up. You quit watching porn every day, which, by the way, you need to stop doing if you're watching this video. You stop the constant indulgences in things that are not helping you. But to do this, unfortunately, for most people, requires discipline. So, Collin, How do we establish discipline?
You need to have complete alignment. Ask yourself, do you have complete alignment in what you say, what you do, and what you think every single day? Because for me, when I started entrepreneurship, I was thinking success, retire my mom, buy my, dad a car, travel the world. But what I was doing was complete opposite of that. I was still getting drunk on the weekends. I wasn't sacrificing enough in the gym. I wasn't eating healthy. I wasn't aware of the things that I needed to establish in my life to get those end results. So my thinking was good, my doing was not. And what I was saying, I would tell my friends, I'm gonna do all this crazy shit, I'm gonna quit my job. But was I doing the things that were gonna allow me to do that? No. Until I got in complete alignment, conscious congruence, that's when everything changed. And now, the best part in my opinion, when you have something accountable to hold you to, like Instagram, for example, when you are constantly posting your life every single day, you are not only using that as an accountability holder for yourself, but everyone else as well. So it's a beautiful thing because everyone's watching you do what you say you're gonna do. You think it, you say it, you do it every single day. And not only are you leveling yourself up, you're doing it for the whole world. So by me doing the little things that I say I'm gonna do, that I do every fucking day, and you guys see me wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. every single day, doing the same workout, helping people online, sharing my wins, sharing my diet, sharing my macros, just sharing all the positivity, you are now, you now literally have to do it, or else you feel like shit.
They're holding you accountable.
What you're doing is you digitally have created the habitat that creates the desire to become better. Why? Because you're not looking at ass on Instagram. You're looking at, okay, like these people are winning, and you're doing it from an interesting perspective because you're talking about purpose. And we talked about it this morning. You said, I want $10 million bucks, and I'm like, you're like, I want to make $10 million this year, and I'm like, is that what you want to do? And you're like, no. It's like, no, that's not what I want to do. I said, how are you going to make $10 million? Well, by helping people. How many people? Well, I don't know. Well, that's your number. It's how many people you can serve.
Correct.
That is the goal. Correct. And the money's gonna come, dude.
Correct.
Like, so many people are focused on the money, but they don't understand that the money is a byproduct of the energy that you emit. And one thing to add to this, there is money that carries good energy, and there's money that carries bad energy.
Absolutely.
And if you don't understand this principle and you keep bad money, you will be cursed. And if you don't believe it, so be it. And if you're not cursed in this life, you'll be cursed in the next. And that is the name of the game. So clean money, honest money, be a person of integrity, be a person of honesty, and understand that it takes a lifetime to build your character, it takes a lifetime to build your reputation, and it takes 1 single second for everything to come crashing down. So it requires professionalism. It requires your discipline and your habits to have this focus to continue going. And I think most of it comes from shaving a lot of the bullshit down in life.
It's that beginning sacrifice, bro, that most people don't want to do. It's getting rid of your friends and sometimes your family. Like, sometimes you literally have to strip away your family to go on the path that you know is your purpose.
And it doesn't have to be permanent, bro.
No.
It doesn't have to be
absolutely
permanent.
Not. My dad thought I was nuts, dude. He had to pull over on the side of the road and he couldn't even breathe when I told him I quit my job. We didn't talk for 3 months. And then I flew him out to Miami and then he's fucking happy.
Because you broke the paradigm.
Exactly.
Right? Like, they had never seen something like
Correct.
this before.
Correct.
And I went through, listen.
They got glitched, bro.
They got glitched. I went through the same thing. Okay. Everybody knows where the fruits are hanging that they're looking for, right? They just don't know how tall the ladder is that they have to climb, right? 99% of the people watching this video know what the fuck they need to do. They know what they need to do, right? But they're severely underestimating the amount of repetitions that that's going to take, how long it's going to take to get there, right? And something you said the other day is, you look at all these billionaires, right? The Bill Gates of the world, they'll have white hairs. Why? Because it takes a lifetime to get rich. It takes a long time. But you, me, and Collin all became multi-millionaires in our early 20s, right? So, and we talk about glitches, money glitches. How do you balance the act of trying to make the bag now and getting to money now? Oh, I want to charter the yacht, I want to have the nice car, and focusing on building true generational wealth? And what are you focused on now?
It's very simple. You need to know how much money you want. Why are you making money? Why are you making money? No, it's a general question. So we have this concept of, okay, you're making money. Why are you making money? How much money do I need to live? So when you're saying, oh, do I have to go get the bag quick? No, why? Because I have 100 years worth of expenses already paid for. So I don't have to adulterate my soul for a fucking clickbait YouTube video so I can make some AdSense revenue trying to freak some kids over some bullshit video, right? I don't have to do that. I don't have to sell myself. Why? Because I haven't positioned myself to be in a state of peace. Most people, they spend too much. They don't make enough. They don't create an environment for them to be at peace. So the reason I mention this is because when we talk about how you build long-term, well, you position yourself to build long-term. You need to understand that you need to plow the land, and then you plant the seed, and then you need to let it grow. You can't fucking force it. You can't fucking force it. It takes time. But what you need to do? Make enough money so that you can focus on feeding the seed, watering the seed full time. Most people on their weekends, what do? Bullshit. Most people when they get home, what do? Bullshit. Instead of watering their seed, being able to grow their garden, they're poisoning it.
So this is how I think about it, right? You guys took geometry, math in middle school, right? And you learn about something called a sine wave. It goes like this, up and down, right? Hits the upper bound, comes back down. And 99% of people are stuck in a sine wave their entire life, because as soon as they go up, they get close to that upper bound, they immediately self-sabotage. Oh, I had a good week at work this week, let's go get drunk, let's go to the club, it's Friday, right? Like, oh, I had a great workout today, let's go get a burger, right? I gotta reward myself. And what they don't realize is that progress is cumulative. And not only is it cumulative, it's exponential. So they make it from 1 to 2, or maybe 2 to 4, or maybe 4 to 8. But they don't know if they kept doing the same thing and watering their seed on the weekends, then they go 8 to 16. Oh, and then they go 16 to 32, and it gets kind of cool, right? And then they go 32 to 64, and oh my God, I can move into this house. And all it takes is consistency, right? And you are like the most consistent person I've ever met in my life. So let me ask you this, right? Whenever you get a wire for $250,000, or you sign your lease on this brand new mansion you're moving into today, how do you stay disciplined and not immediately start self-sabotaging and crash back down into that sine wave?
Yeah, I mean, it just comes from experience, right? I came into entrepreneurship at probably the most opportunistic time. Call it lucky, but I came in during a time where rates are at 0, money printers are turned on. I thought making money was literally the easiest thing in the world. And then in 2 seconds, it's all taken away from me. The business I was in shifted, was not, overall a good business that I, knew that was helping everyone. So I needed to make major shifts in, number 1, my active income, and number 2, my income from crypto, like Bitcoin. I didn't sell anything, and I watched that shit drop $3 million in front of my eyes.
Yeah, from 3 million down to what?
3.5 to 1 million at the bottom. So, going from, oh my God, I literally just started as an entrepreneur, and in 18 months I became a multi-millionaire. I felt on top of the world, bro. Like, I thought I could do no wrong. I thought I was only going up. I was gonna hit $10 million at 25, and bro, everything just got taken like that. So I got, I basically got checked, bro. I got checked. It was one of the most beautiful experiences ever. And what I've learned and the takeaways from it was you can't drink your own Kool-Aid. You go like this, life goes in waves. The money is up and it's down, and just how it goes. You have to stay neutral, like what Luke talked about. Waking up and staying in that peaceful state, okay? Why do I do what I do every single morning, and it takes me an hour to meditate, do my breath work, do all this shit? People are like, dude, fuck that, just get straight to work. Because my mind is clear. I can now navigate the waves of life way better than most people can. I get shit thrown at me all the fucking time. I have all kinds of crazy shit happening in business, money, whatever, my crypto up and down every single day. I still have 80% of my net worth in Bitcoin, but I can handle it because my habits allow me to stay disciplined every single day and weather the storm. So the lesson here is, when life is giving you the craziest shit ever, just know when you're down here, you're gonna go up. When you're up, you're gonna go down. Stay neutral through it all. Keep a level mind.
You know what the morning routine is like? This is what David Goggins says. We talk about life being like a video game. It's like in Warzone when you put on armor plates, right? You wake up, you're plating up for the day. You got to do your morning routine. It takes a while, but that's how you stay focused and ready to take on everything that happens, right? Now, when he talks about going from $3.5 million to $1 million, it's a crazy humbling experience, right? So we talk all the time about everything that you've accomplished, right? Because it's massive, right? It's apparent to the entire world. But I want to ask you, because we've never talked about this, right? What's the most humbling experience you have ever had in your entrepreneurship journey?
I think the success.
How so?
It's just nice to see that people honor authenticity. It's humbling that people support me in this journey of building Capital Club. So I'm building it out of a state not of pride of like, look what I'm building. It's like, yo, like, this is cool, guys. Like, we're doing this together. Like, it's a humbling experience. So it's not so much the negative things that have humbled me. I've learned from those things, and actually those things have made me more courageous. The things that have humbled me is when you actually see a win and you don't position yourself in a pedestal as if you've accomplished something grandiose. If you're playing a video game, you have no pride attached in getting to the next level. You just realize, like, hey, it's just the next level of the game. And if you operate outside of that state, that when you get to the next level, you're like, dude, I'm humbled. Why? Because you realize how big the fucking game is. The more money I've made, the more humble I've become. Because the bigger fish I see in the pond, I'm like, holy shit, like, this thing's crazy. I am nobody. So what do? I don't cower. No, I need to continue becoming better. Why? Not because I'm competing, because I understand how big the potential is. So it's not that I'm competing, I observe the potential, and then I take and I create the life that I want. So it's like Collin said, it's this like concept of, it's not just about making money. It's how do you wake up? Do you have peace? Do you have a loving family? Do you wake up? Do you enjoy your health? Or are you sick? Are you ill? Are you unhappy? Is the only thing that you have a balanced checkbook? If that's all you have, then you don't have much. So when we talk about these concepts of a wealth and a developed mind, and a developed mind is humbled by growth. It is not arrogant, because growth teaches you how much more you have to learn. So that's what I would say, bro. The success is teaching me a lot more than I expected.
I think that's a really good answer, and I think the common theme that I'm getting from both of you guys can really be summarized into gratitude, right? And the first time that I ever, I believe, truly connected with God and spirituality was during my entrepreneurship journey, because I had a number of big windfalls, right? Because you guys know, like I know that entrepreneurship goes like this, right? Maybe you make a lot of money one month and then you have a couple hard months, right? And every time that I would have a big successful period, I would begin to become arrogant, right? And what I realized as I reflect is that I wasn't sitting down and being truly grateful and expressing thankfulness to the source, right? And acknowledging the fact that this can't be me, right? This can't just be me. This is bestowed upon me by something larger. And I legitimately believe, Collin, because you just said, right, you can't drink the Kool-Aid, that the only way to stay in alignment and to continually live in abundance is to be so humble that you are continuously and constantly expressing gratitude to something that is not yourself.
You know what they say is often the most humble of people? The farmers. Why? Because they understand the toil, the labor, the dedication, but you are the farmer of your own soil, of your own life. There's this famous clip of Kobe Bryant after winning the second game of a playoff, and they say, hey, are you happy? And he's like, why would I be happy? The job's not done. So when you win a battle, you just won a battle. It's just another day. That's why when you became a millionaire, it didn't feel any different, because you just realized, well, just another battle. It's not the final war. So those people that are attached to winning those small battles is because, well, they have no long-term scope or long-term goal. So their pride is attached in their short-term action. And when you have a short-term mindset, well, you have a short-term fuse. And what happens is you often blow up. So when you have a long-term horizon, you begin to do long-term business with long-term people, then things go well. And like we said before, there's a reason why billionaires have white hair, because it takes a lifetime to get rich. And if you understand that and you frame that in perspective, now you don't have to walk around acting like you have everything together. You understand that, hey, we're on this journey, we're in our 20s, we're in our 30s, we're just figuring this shit out, let's figure it out together. Easy.
Gary Brecka says we can live to 130, possibly of 150.
I agree.
Okay, so why the fuck are you going for the easy money when you're in your 20s? You're out here scamming people when literally you could literally
Miami.
be 50 years old looking like a 25-year-old nowadays with the technology we have. So once I started to realize this, like, it's not about the easy money. I'm already in complete alignment with my body, my soul, God, my family. I have my fiance now. I've done the things in my life. I've built the foundation. Now it's time to build the foundation in the business. I just want to serve people and do what's worked for me and show them what's worked for me so that they can come on board too. And that's health, body, mindset, fitness, and business. And that's what I know, and that's now what I teach. And that's a 20-year minimum game plan that doesn't have to change. I'm always going to be doing that stuff. So it's just getting very simplistic in your thinking and realizing that everyone just needs some basic shit. People just need help with mindset, personal development. You only go to the level of your personal development. You will never exceed that. So just think what other people need and provide it to them.
Life often has the ability to place you back in the game where you belong. So if you make too much money and you haven't become that type of person that deserves that money, you'll lose it.
For sure.
And if you lose, but it's also the opposite side for those people that are going through a hard time. If you lose more than you deserve to lose, you'll bounce back to the point that you deserve. So the question is, what do you deserve, and can you quantify what you deserve? You should be able to quantify what you deserve based off of your habits, based off of your results, and based off of the ecosystem that you create. And you pick up your head, you observe, and then you realize, this works or this doesn't work, and how do I optimize it?
It's so funny. All my clients have been asking me lately, like, Collin, you know, I'm following the game plan, but it's just not working. I go look at their profile, no posts, their shit sucks. I'm like, bro, do you even like your shit? They're like, not really. Bro, if you don't love your shit, why would anyone else love your shit? Why is anyone else gonna buy from you? Would you buy from you? No, I wouldn't buy from you. Bro, you're not worth it yet. You do not deserve what you want. Put in the work.
That's the central theme of this podcast, right? Whatever get rich quick scheme you're looking at, whatever blow up my Shopify store trick you're looking for, whatever biohacking trick you're looking for that's going to make you ripped tomorrow, none of those things exist. The only quest that is real is self-improvement and self-actualization. That is it. In any problem that you're facing, the only way to truly address it is to turn inwards.
And I would say, to kind of wrap this up, don't take all these concepts and say, okay, these are true. Test us on what we're saying.
I could be lying. He could be lying.
So take the routines, incorporate them for 30 days, and record it and ask yourself, okay, after 30 days, am I better or am I worse? And if you're worse, perfect, don't do it. And if you're better, perfect, take it for free. There's a reason why we're giving it to you for free. I'm not here sitting on a fucking yacht with Miami in the background, sitting on millions of dollars, wasting my breath trying to convince you to better your life for no reason. Why? Because things work. And if we all collectively get better, then things get better. Things don't change because everybody complains. Nobody's actually out here acting. Nobody's actually out here putting effort. Why? Because they don't understand the very basic principles of natural law. Cause and effect. Action, reaction. Energy input, energy output. And like you mentioned in the beginning, and I'll wrap with this statement, it's not about what you can't control, the outwardly directed individual. It's about what you can control. Every single day, day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. So you eat better every day. You think about yourself better every day. You practice essential skills like sales, marketing, persuasion, personal development every single day and get better. And you train, and day by day, slowly, over a long period of time, you will lay those bricks, and when you zoom out, you'll have a beautiful wall of China, and people will marvel at it and think that it was built overnight, and some people will not even be able to imagine how it was built. If you zoom in, it's brick by brick, day by day. It takes a lifetime. If you're here for a lifetime, might as well take day by day with excellence, because that's all you have.
What did I say earlier? It takes years to become an overnight success. Remember that. Guys, last time we did one of these, we did this. If you made it this far into the video, drop a hashtag undeniable below in the comments. And if you made it this far to the video, when you wake up tomorrow, don't get on your phone for 30 minutes. See what happens, and when that positively impacts you, watch this again, start incorporating the rest of these things in your life, and watch how it changes. That's all I got.
I'll say one more thing. Stay congruent with your conscious and cleanse your vessel. Your body's a temple, okay? So the more it's cleansed, the more you are open and your antenna is connected to whatever you want to call it. You believe in the universe, source energy. I believe in God. I believe when I cleanse my vessel and I got in total alignment of what I say, what I do, and what I think, I was able to receive. I could surrender to the messages, and I row, you said this once, Luke, I row God steers.
And to corroborate, and we finish with this, you said we are what? You said it. We are what?
Source?
No.
What we do?
What is this?
Conscious congruent.
The vessel.
Vessels, yes.
Put the mic here. You said we are what? The vessel.
The vessel.
You said what has to be in alignment? What are the things that have to be in alignment?
What you say, what you do, and what you think.
So when you say, do, and think congruently, what you are is a person that is sincere. When you are not congruent with how you think, how you act, and how you speak, you are a hypocrite. A person that is sincere comes from the word sincera, and that comes from the Latin without wax. And what would happen is the potters that would sell pottery made out of clay, they would have these vessels, and the vessels sometimes would break due to the heat. So they would put wax, cera means wax, to coat the broken vessel instead of taking the vessel and remolding it from the beginning. So sincere comes from the ability to, when the sun hits you and the pressure of life hits you, does the wax melt? Or when the pressure hits you, you as a vessel, you stand authentic and true and sincere, that when the times and the hard times come, when the hard times come and challenges test you, you stand true because you're authentic, you're sincere, and there is no falsehood in you.
Beautifully said, brother.
Speaking of authenticity, we're all sitting on this yacht on a Saturday night drinking water. Stop poisoning yourself. That's it.